The message glowed on her phone screen like a knife to my gut. Don't worry, the idiot thinks the baby is his. My name is Andy, and 5 minutes ago, I was the happiest man alive. Maureen, my wife of 3 years, was finally pregnant after months of trying. We'd been celebrating all week, telling family, planning the nursery. Now I stood frozen in our bedroom, her unlocked phone in my trembling hands, staring at texts that were destroying my world. The shower was still running. I had maybe 2 minutes before she came out. My eyes scanned the conversation thread rapidly. Jared, miss you already. When can you get away? Maureen, soon. Andy's working late tomorrow. Jared, perfect. Your place or mine? Maureen, yours. Getting tired of making excuses. Jared, how's our little secret doing? Maureen, growing perfectly. Andy's so excited to be a father. Jared, don't worry. The idiot thinks the baby is his. Just stick to the plan. Maureen, 6 more months. Then we take half and start our life together. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. The shower stopped. I quickly placed it back on her nightstand, exactly as I'd found it, and walked downstairs to the kitchen. I needed to look normal. Act normal. Think. Andy, Maureen called from upstairs. Can you bring me some water? Sure, honey. I managed to keep my voice steady, filling a glass while my mind raced. 3 years of marriage. All the late nights at yoga. All the mysterious texts. The baby we'd been trying for. I climbed the stairs, glass in hand. Maureen stood in our bedroom, wrapped in a towel, her slightly rounded belly visible. Just yesterday, I'd kissed that belly goodnight, whispering to our baby. Our baby. The thought made me sick now. Here you go. I handed her the water, careful not to let our fingers touch. Thanks, babe. She smiled. That same sweet smile I'd fallen in love with. I was thinking about names today. What do you think about Emma for a girl? I forced myself to smile back. Whatever you want, sweetheart. You're the best. She kissed my cheek. I'm so lucky to have you. Lucky. Right. I watched her get dressed, chattering about nursery colors and baby shower themes. Each word was like acid in my ears. How long had she been planning this? How many times had she laughed at me behind my back with this Jared? Earth to Andy? She waved her hand in front of my face. You okay? You seem distracted. Just tired, I said. Work stuff. Poor baby. She patted my shoulder. Why don't you get some rest? I need to run to the store anyway. We're out of milk. At 8 p.m.? To the store? I knew better now. Sure, drive safe. The moment her car pulled out of the driveway, I grabbed my phone and called the one person I could trust completely. Reagan, I need you to come over, now. Andy, what's wrong? Everything. My voice cracked. Everything is wrong. I'll be there in 15 minutes. I hung up and sat in the dark, my mind replaying every moment of the past few months. Every late night. Every suspicious text. Every time she'd pulled away from my touch. The signs had been there all along. I just hadn't wanted to see them. The baby wasn't mine. My wife was planning to leave me. And somewhere out there, a man named Jared was laughing at my expense. But they'd made one crucial mistake. They'd shown their hand too early. And now? Now I had time to plan. Reagan arrived with a bottle of whiskey and her no-nonsense attitude. I showed her the photos I'd taken of the texts while she poured us both a drink. That manipulative bitch, she hissed, scrolling through them. I knew something was off about her. The way she's been acting lately, all those yoga classes. I feel so stupid, I said, downing my drink. All those nights I worked late to save for the baby's future. Stop that right now. Reagan grabbed my shoulder. You're not stupid. You're a good man who trusted his wife. She's the one who's going to regret this. My phone buzzed. Maureen. Store's busy. Might be another hour. Don't wait up. Another hour, I scoffed. She's with him right now, isn't she? Reagan's eyes narrowed. We need to be smart about this. What's your plan? I don't know. Confront her? No. Reagan shook her head firmly. That's exactly what she wants. She'll deny everything, make you look crazy, and speed up her timeline. We need evidence, solid proof. She was right. I took a deep breath. Where do I start? First, we protect your assets. Tomorrow morning, you're opening new accounts in your name only. Transfer everything that's yours alone. Second, we need more proof. That baby's DNA test is crucial. I nodded, my mind clearing. I can get her toothbrush for the test. And I know a guy at work, Xavier, who's good with tech. He might be able to help recover deleted messages. Good. Reagan pulled out her phone. And I'm installing a recording app on your phone right now. Georgia's a one-party consent state. Record everything. We spent the next hour planning. By the time Maureen's car pulled into the driveway, I was back in bed, pretending to sleep. She smelled like unfamiliar cologne when she slipped under the covers. The next morning, I started my performance. Kiss goodbye. I love you. Normal routine. But the moment she left for work, I sprang into action. New bank accounts, password changes, a visit to Xavier. Man, this is heavy stuff, Xavier said, examining my phone, but I can help. Give me 2 days. That afternoon, I hit the gym. Her gym. I needed to see this Jared for myself. It didn't take long to spot him. Personal trainer, just like the text said. Tall, muscular, working with a client. Hey, I approached him casually after his session. I'm Andy, new here, looking for a trainer. Jared. He shook my hand, completely at ease. Happy to help. When do you want to start? The confidence in his smile made my stomach turn. This man was sleeping with my wife, plotting to steal my life. And he had no idea who I was. How about tomorrow? I forced a friendly grin. That night, I heard Maureen on the phone in our home office. I activated Reagan's recording app and stood quietly by the door. We'll be free of him soon, she whispered. Just stick to the plan. Yes, I know. The gender reveal party will be perfect. Everyone we know will be there. I love you too. My hands clenched into fists. A gender reveal party. Of course. She wanted an audience for whatever she was planning. Well, two could play that game. I texted Reagan. She's planning a gender reveal party. Big audience. Reagan replied instantly, Perfect. That's exactly what we need. The bigger the crowd, the better the fall. I stared at my phone, a cold clarity settling over me. Maureen wanted a perfect gender reveal party? Fine. She'd get one that no one would ever forget. Keep your core tight, Jared instructed, spotting me on the bench press. You're doing great, man. 3 sessions in, and I'd learned plenty. Like how he kept checking his phone between sets, smirking at messages I knew were from my wife. Or how he bragged about the amazing woman in his life who was about to change everything for him. Thanks, I grunted, finishing my set. Hey, my wife's planning this big gender reveal party next month. You should come. Bring your girlfriend. His expression flickered for just a second. Oh, thanks, man. But she might be busy that day. No problem. Think about it, though. Should be quite a show. Later that day, I met Xavier at a coffee shop far from our usual spots. He slid a USB drive across the table. It's worse than you thought, he said quietly. Those texts go back 8 months. And there's a shared cloud folder with pictures. You don't want to see them, trust me. I pocketed the drive. What about the bank records? Found those too. She's been siphoning money into a separate account. Small amounts, but it adds up. About 30 grand so far. My wedding ring felt heavy on my finger. That money was meant for our future. Our baby's future. except it wasn't our baby at all. My phone buzzed. Maureen's best friend Daisy wanted to meet for coffee. Interesting timing. I found her at a quiet corner table, fidgeting with her cup. Andy, I need to tell you something. What's wrong, Daisy? She wouldn't meet my eyes. It's about Maureen. I overheard her on the phone yesterday. She said something that worried me. About the baby. I kept my face neutral, phone recording in my pocket. What about the baby? She said, God, I feel awful saying this. She said, if he finds out early, we'll just lie. He's too nice to push back. I don't know what she meant, but it didn't sound right. I reached across the table and squeezed her hand. Thank you for telling me, Daisy. You're a good friend. That evening, Maureen was in full party planning mode. I'm thinking blue and pink everything. And when we reveal the gender, fireworks. Everyone we know will be there. It needs to be perfect. Whatever you want, sweetheart. I smiled, watching her scroll through Pinterest. It's your special day. She beamed at me. Our special day. You're going to be such an amazing father. My phone buzzed. Reagan. DNA kit arrived. When can you get the sample? I watched Maureen head upstairs for her nightly shower. Going to grab some ice cream, I called up. Want any? No thanks. Trying to watch my pregnancy weight. The moment I heard the shower start, I slipped into our bathroom and grabbed her toothbrush. The one she thought she'd lost last week, conveniently replaced with a new one. The lab would have results in 3 days. Later that night, I woke to Maureen whispering in the dark. Everything's set. No, he doesn't suspect a thing. The party will be perfect timing. Yes, I love you too. She thought I was sleeping. I kept my breathing steady, recording every word. Just a few more weeks, she whispered. Then we'll be free. I lay there in the dark, listening to my wife plan my destruction with her lover, and felt something inside me harden. The last traces of love were burning away, replaced by cold determination. They thought they had it all figured out. The perfect plan. The perfect timing. The perfect revenge. But they'd forgotten one thing. They weren't the only ones who could play this game. The envelope from the DNA lab felt heavy in my hands. Reagan sat beside me on her couch, gripping my shoulder as I tore it open. My eyes scanned the results, and the world stopped. Probability of paternity, 0%. The alleged father is excluded as the biological father of the tested child. Reagan took the papers as they slipped from my fingers. Those lying bastards, she whispered. We've got them now. My phone buzzed. A text from Xavier. Meeting in 20? Got something big. We met him in the parking lot behind his office. He handed me a stack of printouts, his face grim. Bank statements, hotel receipts, everything. She's been planning this for months. There's a lease agreement in both their names, starting next month. I flipped through the papers. Credit card statements showing jewelry purchases, hotel rooms, restaurants I'd never been to. A lease for a luxury apartment across town. All the evidence of a life being built behind my back. That's not all, Xavier said. Remember that recording you sent me of her talking to Daisy? I cleaned up the audio. He handed me his phone and pressed play. Maureen's voice, crystal clear. The gender reveal is perfect timing. Everyone will be there, all happy and excited. No one will expect anything when I serve him the papers right after. By the time they realize what's happening, I'll have half of everything. The law's on my side. Pregnant wife, sympathetic judge. Andy won't know what hit him. Daisy's voice uncertain. But what if he fights it? He won't. He's too nice, too trusting. That's why this is going to work perfectly. I stopped the recording, my hand steady now. Send me everything. Every file, every receipt, every recording. I want it all ready for the party. Back home, Maureen was on the phone with her mother, Bella. "Mom, it has to be perfect. Everyone who matters will be there. It's going to be a day no one forgets." She had no idea how right she was. That night, I met with my lawyer, sliding the DNA results across his desk. "I want everything ready. The divorce papers, the evidence, all of it. And I want to make sure she can't touch my assets." He reviewed the documents, nodding. "With this evidence of fraud and infidelity, plus the DNA results, she won't get a dime beyond what's legally hers. I'll have everything prepared for the day of the party." I drove home slowly, thinking about the weeks ahead. The party was in 10 days. 10 days of playing the excited father-to-be. 10 days of watching my wife smile and lie. 10 days of knowing her lover was laughing at me. My phone lit up with a text from Maureen. "Don't forget, cake tasting tomorrow." I replied with a heart emoji, then opened my messages to Reagan. "Everything's confirmed. DNA test, bank records, recordings. All of it." Reagan: "Good. What about Jared?" Me: "He'll be there. Already RSVP'd. Front row seat to his own destruction." Reagan: "How are you holding up?" Me: "I'm done feeling hurt. Now I just want justice." I walked into our house, where Maureen was arranging invitation samples on the coffee table. She looked up with that same sweet smile that once meant everything to me. "Hey, honey, which color scheme do you like better?" I looked at the samples, thinking about how different they'd look splashed across the screen during my presentation. "The blue one's perfect," I said. "Trust me." "I just don't know what to do anymore," Daisy announced loudly at our arranged brunch spot. Right on cue, several of Maureen's friends looked over from nearby tables. "Maureen's been acting so strange lately." I sipped my coffee, the recorder running in my pocket. "Strange how?" "The late nights, the secret phone calls." Daisy stirred her mimosa nervously. "Last week, I saw her with this guy at Riverside Mall. They looked intimate. Perfect." The whispers would start spreading now. I'd chosen this cafe carefully. It was where Maureen's social circle always gathered on Sundays. My phone buzzed. Reagan: "Just dropped off the invitations. Jared's was hand-delivered to his gym." I excused myself from brunch and met Reagan at her place. She handed me a stack of RSVPs. "Look at this," she pointed to Jared's response. "He actually checked +1. "The arrogance," I muttered. "He's bringing a date to his lover's party." "How's the presentation coming?" I opened my laptop, showing her the slideshow Xavier had helped me create. Text messages, photos, bank statements, all timed perfectly. It'll start right when they think we're showing the gender reveal video. My phone lit up. Maureen calling. "Andy, emergency." She sounded panicked. "The bank's saying there's a problem with our joint account transfer." Of course there was. I'd frozen it yesterday. "What transfer, honey?" "Just a small one, for the party decorations." The lie came so easily to her. The actual transfer had been for $25,000 to Jared's account. "I'll look into it," I said calmly. "How much do you need?" No, it's fine. I'll figure something else out." After hanging up, Reagan showed me her screen. "Look who just posted on Instagram." There was Jared at a jewelry store captioning, "Big changes coming soon, Sears. New chapter." "He's shopping for her," Reagan growled. "Using your money." That evening, I found Maureen in our home office, frantically clicking through bank websites. "Everything okay?" I asked innocently. She jumped. "Oh, yes, just party planning stuff." "Need any help?" "Actually." She hesitated. "Could you increase my credit limit?" "Just temporarily, for the party expenses." I pretended to consider it. "Sure, whatever you need to make it perfect." She hugged me, and I felt nothing. No pain, no anger, just cold determination. "You're the best," she whispered. "I don't deserve you." Finally, something we agreed on. Later, I met Xavier at a bar far from our usual spots. He handed me a USB drive. The presentation's ready. I added something special. Location data from her phone. Shows every time she was at Jared's place or their usual hotels. Perfect. I pocketed the drive. What about the sound system at the venue? All set. I'll be running the tech personally. One button and everything plays perfectly. My phone buzzed with a group text from Maureen to all our friends. Can't wait to share our joy with everyone. This reveal will be unforgettable. I showed Xavier the message. He raised his eyebrows. She really has no idea. None. I took a long drink. She thinks she's the one with the perfect plan. You know, Xavier said quietly, once you do this, there's no going back. I thought about the DNA results, the secret apartment, the stolen money, the months of lies. Good, I replied. That's exactly what I'm counting on. The night before the party, I sat in our home office, reviewing everything one last time. The presentation was perfect. Texts, photos, bank records, all set to play in devastating sequence. The divorce papers waited in a sealed envelope, along with copies of the DNA test. Maureen burst in, bubbling with excitement. Andy, the decorators just sent the final photos of the venue. Want to see? Of course. I smiled, quickly minimizing my screen. She leaned over my shoulder, pulling up pictures of the country club's grand hall. Blue and pink everywhere, just as she'd wanted. A massive screen dominated the stage, the same screen that would display her destruction tomorrow. It's perfect, I said truthfully. I can't believe it's finally happening, she sighed, wrapping her arms around me. Tomorrow will change everything. Yes, I agreed. It will. My phone buzzed. Reagan. Venue security is briefed. They'll be ready when things get messy. Maureen was still scrolling through photos. Oh, did you remember to pick up your new suit? All ready to go. Along with a hidden microphone Xavier had installed in the lapel. You're so organized, Jared. I mean Andy. She caught herself, face flushing. Sorry, I'm just tired. The slip made my blood run cold, but I kept my expression neutral. No problem, honey. Get some rest. She hurried out, leaving me alone with the weight of her mistake. I pulled up the presentation one last time, checking every detail. The opening slide looked innocent enough. Baby Simmons' gender reveal, in cheerful letters. But 60 seconds in, everything would change. My phone rang. It was Daisy. Andy? She sounded nervous. I need to tell you something about tomorrow. Don't worry, I cut her off. Everything's going to work out exactly as it should. But trust me, Daisy, just make sure you're there. After hanging up, I went through my checklist again. Presentation loaded. Security briefed. Divorce papers ready. Bank accounts secured. Lawyers on standby. A text from Jared popped up, but not to me. To Maureen's phone, lighting up on the kitchen counter where she'd left it. Can't wait for tomorrow, baby. Everything we've planned is finally happening. I took a photo of the message, adding it to my evidence folder. Then I heard Maureen coming downstairs and moved away from her phone. Just checking the weather for tomorrow, she said, grabbing her phone. Perfect sunny day forecast. Wouldn't want anything to rain on our parade, I replied. That night, I lay awake listening to her breathe beside me, remembering our wedding day. How happy we'd been. How much I'd trusted her. Tomorrow, everyone would see her true face. My phone lit up one last time. Reagan, everything's ready. Are you sure about this? I looked at Maureen, peaceful in her deceit, and typed back, more sure than I've ever been. Good, because I just saw Jared buying champagne. He's actually celebrating. I smiled in the dark. Let them celebrate. Let them think they'd won. In less than 24 hours, their perfect plan would explode in their faces. Maureen stirred beside me. What time is it? Late. Big day tomorrow. The biggest, she murmured, drifting back to sleep. I closed my eyes, feeling strangely calm. The last night of my marriage. The last night of their lies. Tomorrow, the truth would set us all free. Just not in the way they expected. The country club ballroom buzzed with excitement. Maureen worked the crowd in her flowing white dress, accepting congratulations and showing off her baby bump. Jared stood near the bar, trying to look casual while stealing glances at my wife. "Everything's ready," Xavier whispered, adjusting the microphone settings one last time. "Just give me the signal." Reagan squeezed my arm. "Look who just arrived." Bella, Maureen's mother, swept in wearing her signature disapproving expression. Perfect. The audience was complete. "Time for the big reveal," Maureen called out, clapping her hands. "Everyone, please take your seats." I watched her climb onto the small stage, pulling me up with her. The crowd gathered, phones ready to record. Jared positioned himself in the front row, smirking. "Before we start," Maureen announced, "I want to thank my amazing husband. Andy has been so supportive, so trusting." She squeezed my hand. "This baby is truly a blessing." The audience awed. I stepped to the microphone. "Actually, I'd like to say something first." Maureen's smile flickered. This wasn't part of her script. "My wife's right. Trust is everything in a marriage." I nodded to Xavier. The lights dimmed. "So, let's talk about trust." The screen lit up with the first text message. "Don't worry, the idiot thinks the baby is his." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Maureen's face went white. "Andy, what are you?" More messages filled the screen. Hotel receipts, bank transfers, photos of them together, the lease agreement. Each piece of evidence hit like a hammer blow. "But maybe I'm jumping to conclusions," I said calmly. "Let's hear it in your own words." Her voice filled the room, the recorded conversation with Daisy about their plan. Then, the DNA results appeared. Probability of paternity, 0%. Jared stood up, heading for the exit. "Sit down," Reagan's voice rang out. 2 security guards blocked the doors. "You see," I continued, "my wife and her lover had this all planned out. Use me for financial support. Wait until the baby came, then take half of everything in the divorce." I pulled out the envelope. Unfortunately, I found out a bit early. Maureen grabbed for the microphone. "He's lying. I can explain." "Explain what?" Bella's voice cut through the chaos. She stood up, face rigid with fury. "Explain how you betrayed your marriage? Deceived everyone in this room? Mom, please, don't." Bella walked to the stage, each step deliberate. "You've embarrassed this family for the last time." She reached up and pulled the wedding ring from Maureen's finger. "You don't deserve to wear this." The room had gone completely silent. Phones recorded everything. Maureen stood frozen, mascara running down her cheeks. "The divorce papers are in here," I said, handing her the envelope, "along with evidence of the fraud you committed with those bank transfers. Your lawyer can contact mine." Jared tried again to leave. "This is insane." "Oh, I didn't forget about you." I turned to face him. "Those gym clients you've been bragging about? They're all watching this live stream right now. Good luck building your business after this." Security began escorting people out. Maureen stood alone on the stage, clutching the envelope, her perfect plan in ruins. "Andy," she whispered, "please." "Goodbye, Maureen." I walked toward the exit, then turned back one last time. "By the way, I hear it's a boy. Congratulations to you both." The last thing I saw as I left was Maureen collapsing into tears, Jared awkwardly trying to comfort her while avoiding the camera phones, and Bella's disgusted expression as she walked away from her daughter. Sometimes the best gender reveals show you who people really are. The morning sun streamed through my new apartment windows as Reagan helped me unpack the last boxes. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing since the party. Messages from friends, family, even strangers who'd seen the viral videos. "Have you seen this?" Reagan held up her phone, showing me a local news website. Jared's gym fired him. Apparently, cheating with clients' wives is bad for business. Imagine that. I hung up the last photo, not from my wedding, but from a hiking trip with friends. A clean start. The doorbell rang. It was Daisy, clutching her purse nervously. "Can I come in?" I let her in, watching her take in the half-unpacked boxes. "I'm so sorry, Andy. I should have told you sooner. When I first suspected—" "You did tell me," I said. "That's what matters." "She's a mess," Daisy continued. "The video's everywhere. Her clients are dropping her. Jared won't answer her calls. She tried to get into their new apartment, but his name's been removed from the lease. Not my problem anymore." My phone rang. Xavier. "You need to see this," he said. "Check your email." I opened the message to find screenshots from Maureen's private social media. She'd tried to post her version of events, claiming I'd set her up, that she was the victim. The comments were brutal. We all saw the texts. "You can't lie your way out of this." "Poor Andy dodged a bullet." "Karma's beautiful, isn't it?" "She took it down after 10 minutes, Xavier said. But screenshots last forever. The doorbell rang again. This time, it was my lawyer. "Great news," he said, spreading papers on my kitchen counter. "She's not contesting anything. The divorce will be final in weeks, not months. And those bank transfers she made? The court's ordering full repayment." "What about Bella?" Reagan asked. "Called me this morning," I said. "Wanted to make sure I was okay. Said she's cut Maureen off completely." Daisy's phone chimed. She read the message and gasped. "Oh, wow. Jared just posted that he's moving to Florida. Says he needs a fresh start away from toxic people." "Coward," Reagan muttered. I looked around my new space. No memories of betrayal here. No lies hidden in the corners. Just possibility. The doorbell rang one final time. My heart stopped when I saw Maureen through the peephole, but I opened the door anyway. She looked terrible. Eyes red, makeup smeared. "Andy, please. We can fix this. I'll do anything. There's nothing to fix." My voice was calm, steady. "The papers are signed. It's over. But the baby has a father. His name is Jared, though I hear he's heading to Florida, so good luck with that." Tears streamed down her face. "I never meant to." "Yes, you did," I cut her off. "You meant every bit of it. You just didn't mean to get caught." I closed the door on her protests, turning back to my friends. My real family. "You okay?" Reagan asked softly. I looked at the unpacked boxes, the new furniture, the fresh start ahead of me. "She thought love made me weak," I said. "Made me blind. But love isn't weakness. It's what gave me the strength to walk away." Through the window, I watched Maureen's car pull away for the last time. She'd tried to destroy me, but instead, she'd set me free. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about destroying someone else, it's about refusing to let them destroy you.